We just need to get home. We should be home in 5 hours.
4 hours, 51 minutes.
We are on the side of the road because the van's transmission broke. I don't know what we're gonna do. Let's go back to base. I think we're gonna get a hotel room tonight. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. Or where we're gonna put the trailer until we can tow it. Hopefully the base has something. At least we started this on Sunday and we didn't do this on Monday, because then at least we have an extra day to get home. We broke down the van transfer case.
Probably, yeah. We probably overheated the transfer case.
20 minutes outside of base. Thank goodness, 20 minutes right outside of base. No cell service where we were stuck. So I'm outside walking around with my phone, and luckily,
some lady just pulled over.
This wonderful lady pulled over, drove me like 4 miles up the road to get service. And then we were able to get a tow truck, a tow truck.
Our camper is sitting on the side of the 285 in the middle of nowhere, Florida.
With no cell service.
Van is now in a parking lot somewhere.
In the tow yard. It's in the tow. It's in the tow truck's secured yard, at least. It's secure. Wait, let's rewind. Tow truck comes. They don't transport people because we've got 3 kids in car seats. So Steve has to call an Uber. Uber takes him to the airport. Airport, he gets a rent-a-car. From there, he has to come back to us. We have been kicked out of the van and are now taking refuge in the trailer. It's 80 degrees outside and like 85% humidity. I'm sweating buckets. Luckily, a police officer did pull over and hang out with us. So we got the rent-a-car, drove back to base. We are
we're back where we started.
We're in a, what do you call this?
Temporary living, TLF. We're in a hotel on base.
But it's nice. It's got 2 twin beds for the boys. Penny's in our room on the floor. It's got a kitchen, so at least we can chill. We're gonna chill, eat breakfast, cook our food that we had in the camper because I grabbed all the food from the camper.
We're still 5 hours away from where we live. Our camper is on the side of the road. Our van is in a parking lot somewhere. Transfer case is probably shot. So it's Monday. Sunday now. Tomorrow's Labor Day, so everything's closed. So we won't even find out till Tuesday if I can get somebody to actually look at it. But either way, it doesn't go forward. It doesn't go reverse. It doesn't go period. So the van's staying in Florida.
The trailer's gonna stay in Florida.
Trailer's gonna stay in Florida. We are going to figure out a way to get everybody home. And the silver lining of it is that we broke down 20 minutes from base and not halfway through our trip home. And we would have had no idea what to do.
Are you looking out the window?
Oh.
Are you watching for Daddy?
Oh. There's Daddy. He's coming back.
So a little bit of an update. It is currently 8 o'clock and I've already been running around. Great thing about the military community is no matter if you know people or not, people are willing to help. So one of our neighbors that we camp next to is going to help me actually go get the trailer. And then just by happenstance, an RV parking lot was open. So we're going to drop the trailer off there and leave it here for as long as it takes to get the van. Getting us home still seems to be a little bit of a nightmare. But important things first. I need coffee. It's gonna be a long day. Another quick update. Thank you, Dan Hilty. You saved our bacon. This guy took time out of his day to go pick up our trailer and drop off, and he was actually the one that told me about the RV spot. So big thank you. And now we are in our rental car driving home, which was a little bit of another fiasco, but anyway, that worked out. And it is take 2 of trying to get home.
We're halfway home. We made a pit stop for McDonald's. made it.
18 hours later.
The drive home wasn't so bad. We didn't have to stop for gas, so we just stopped for lunch and got home. It was actually really nice.
So now the second leg of figuring out how to get the van fixed and home is going to be next week's, which is this week. It's Monday.
Yeah, that's
so,
so you have to drop the rent-a-car off tomorrow?
Drop the rent-a-car off and figure out who can fix the van.
When I say this is 100% self-inflicted, when I say I had noticed ATF fluid dripping in the driveway, that's what I meant. So, it is what it is at this point.
So we have a little bit of a status update on the van. We thought we were going to pick it up yesterday. Unfortunately, the supplier sent the wrong part. So, back to square one. Ordered the correct one today. Hopefully that's there by Tuesday. So the saga continues. I knew things were going too smooth. So, here we are.
It is 2 weeks in, and I am finally on my way to go pick it up. Definitely with some hiccups. I am currently on I-10 on my way to Fort Walton Beach. I have been on the road for the past 3 hours. Hell of a time finding a rent-a-car to drive out there. Went to 3 different places. Ended up having to go all the way up to the airport. And that was an experience. Everything along the way to get the van back has been I'm trying to understand the lessons from the trials that I have experienced along the way. Last night, picking up the rent-a-car, it was an hour and a half ride up there, where I had to take a shuttle. I had to get my neighbor to drive me to the shuttle. That was a half an hour. Then an hour and a half on the shuttle. The driver was great. Was actually able to drop me off right at the rental car place, so I didn't have to go through the airport and all that crap. But it was one of those moments where I came around a corner and there was like 50 people waiting in line at the rental car desk, and it was like my stomach just dropped. And it didn't help that there was a very angry customer standing almost at the beginning of the line, and unfortunately the first thing he was saying was they're telling people that they don't have any cars, and they're trying to jack up the prices and this, that, and the other thing. So of course, the people that are standing in line, it's like, well, what the hell is this guy talking about? Are there cars to be had? So anyway, I was probably in line for 20 minutes, not even knowing if I was going to get a car or not. And then finally, the dude stepped behind the counter and was like, hey, I just want to make a general announcement. We are severely delayed right now. However, we do have cars. We are just running about 2 hours behind. So me and a couple dudes that were in line, man, we just struck up a conversation. We're like, well, that's it, man. We're here. Like, at least we know you have cars. So the line did thin out a little. I kind of feel bad for a couple people that jumped out a little bit earlier thinking they weren't going to get a car, because none of the other desks, Enterprise, Avis, any of those other ones, were giving out cars either. So, it was definitely one of those moments, kill them with kindness, right? So when I got the counter, I'm sure the counter people were at their wits' end. So I just struck up a conversation with her and, tried to crack a few jokes, and I got a smile. So I was like, all right. I feel like I'm gonna get a car. So I had actually hunkered down, and you know, she's like, well, call your name when the car is ready. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll be over here for the next 2 hours. And it was funny too, because the guy next to me said the same thing. He actually asked, he says, hey, do I have, you know, you think I have enough time to go get something to eat? And the lady behind the desk, like, I wouldn't leave the area. And he's like, oh, okay. So when he had told me that, I was like, it's not going to take 2 hours if she told you not to leave the area. We ended up BSing for a little while. And about 30 minutes later, they came out and called kind of like our little group. Gave us all our keys, and we were on our way. However, I left the house at 5:45. Did not get back to 11:30. And then was up at 4:30, back on the road at about 10 to 5. And I am currently 3 hours in. I have about 2 hours, and probably a little less than 2 hours. I dropped this car off at the airport in Fort Walton, and then Uber or taxi it down to the Amico station. So I am praying to God that I do not run into any more trials. I'll just call them at this point, because I really don't know if I can take another one. It just needs something to go right. So that's it. So that's currently the update. So hopefully next time I give you an update, it'll be with the van and the trailer, and I will be headed the opposite direction. So I am down here getting our camper that's been sitting in this lot for the last 2 weeks. Again, thanks to Dan for helping us find this place. But now it's time to hook up, get the hell out of here. Alright, so I got about 100 miles under me now. Figured it's the best time to do an update. Sorry for the awkward angle. Our iPhone holder is broken. So again, we didn't have the van for 2 weeks. So I'm just trying to get back into, I don't know if I'm just hyper focused, because I'm just concerned about getting home in one piece. So any little noise that doesn't sound familiar is making me kind of like, I feel like I'm a deer on opening season right now. So, but overall, van seems to be driving great so far. I don't have any complaints, knock on wood. Still good. Again, it's going to be about 5 hours getting home, so I'll be getting home just around dinner time, which is good. But this van definitely smelled ripe when I got in it. We unfortunately had left some food in here. There's some definitely wet clothes in the back. I don't even know what's going to be salvageable back there, being that it sat outside in the Florida heat for almost 2 weeks waiting for these parts to get there. So, but that's it. That is that. I am wrapping up this video at this point. This has been a 2-week long journey. I would like to personally thank everybody involved, from the tow truck driver to the cop that pulled over, to Dan from Fan Camp at Eglin that towed my camper, to Tim and his guys over at Amico on Racetrack in Fort Walton. Great group of guys. They were able to accommodate the issues. I mean, hell, even the Uber driver was cool when I dropped off the car from the airport over. So, you know, there's still a little bit of humanity out there, and I appreciate that. So. with that said, that is the end of this video, unless it's not.